Hello, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of You Are the Masterpiece, where we keep coming back to tell you that we do not have to be perfect as long as we are taking the effort. And we are the work in progress, the same time as we are this unique, beautiful masterpieces. And that's exactly what we love to reinforce again and again and again. And if this is the first time you are tuning into this beautiful podcast, hello and welcome to this beautiful space. My name is Irina Portnova, and I call myself a manifestation star because I have manifested crazy, amazing things in my life consciously. And now I'm here to teach you how to do that with joy and fun. And today in the studio, we have amazing guest, Dr. Heather Tucker. Da 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 da. Heather, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for saying yes to be a guest on this beautiful podcast.
Aloha, Arena. I'm so happy to be here with you. Oh, we're gonna have so much fun today. I'm so excited about
Yay.
this time together.
Absolutely. And I was just recently on Heather's podcast. And I know soon when it's going to be released, you'll be able to watch that fun episode. But today we are going to talk about the important topic. It's all about the win your inner world and master your outer world. But before we dive in, Heather, why don't you say a couple of words who you are, who are you serving, and what is so special about our inner world?
Okay. Well, aloha, everyone in Arena's land. I'm Dr. Heather Tucker, and I work with women entrepreneurs and coaches to increase their calm, their confidence, and their cash and client flow. We're going to be talking about money today, which I'm super excited
Mhm.
about, so that we can bring more clients into our business, ideal clients, and
Mhm.
charge our value, and also create more time, money, and emotional freedom to be more present with our loved ones. And I'm all about creating peace on all sides. So when I talk about business and life harmony, success, it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is
Mhm.
possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen our relationships, and lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum. And it all starts from us. The core of my work has to do with that inner world mastery, that inner world harmony. Because when we win our inner world and we have that alignment and that congruence, and we feel really good in our mind, body, heart, and soul, and there's a firm foundation, it actually allows us to be able to be in the presence of others with much more ease and grace and give from our overflow. It allows us to be able to live fully our purpose, our passion, and our prosperity with, like I said, ease, grace, flow, simplicity, the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, and self control. One of
Mhm.
the things that I usually see is that a lot of times as entrepreneurs, especially when we're on the mission, it's about sometimes pushing harder, going stronger, spending hours or all day, 14, 16 hours a day on the computer. There's much more to life than this journey of entrepreneurship. And it is my desire to be able to show people how to create business harmony, life harmony, and technology harmony. So it is so much more of a blend where you can actually get more done with a lot less effort.
I love that. Right. It's all about what we want to create, right? If we set our focus on, I want more ease in my life without pushing too hard, we can actually tap to that ease.
Correct, correct, absolutely. And the biggest picture is that it's really all about energy. Our beliefs
Mhm.
are energy, our thoughts are energies, our emotions are energy, and they can actually make or break our success. And we want to be able to make sure that we're operating in that beautiful aloha high vibe, because our energy is contagious. Right? I know
Mhm.
when Arena and I got together, it's like, oh my goodness, the vibrations are off the charts.
Yes,
Right? and
totally.
and your energy speaks first. So as an entrepreneur, if we're operating, and this is, like I said, 100% common, totally typical. But if we're operating in frustration, overwhelm, stress, depression, like anxiety, uncertainty, people feel your energy first. Right.
Mhm.
So when you come to a client conversation or when you come to a speaking engagement, it is really about letting and allowing your light and your energy to speak first and foremost. So, how in connection and in tune that dictates the way that everything's going to go. I'll put it like this. Typically as an entrepreneur, we talk about the marketing and selling, right?
Mhm.
Or marketing and selling, marketing and serving. And then on the journey of entrepreneurship, we really start to learn, oh, it's the branding before the marketing and selling that makes the serving much more easier. But before the branding and the marketing and selling, there is all of you. And if
Mhm.
there's anything that is within you that is divided, conflicted, congruent, it trickles into the entire process. So this is why my work is supporting people in breaking free and having that congruency in their mind, body, heart, and soul and energy. So therefore, everything else trickles into a beautiful flow. And it just makes branding, marketing, selling, serving so much easier and actually so much more fun.
I love that. I love that. And I'm especially excited about our conversation because, again, majority of the people, they even, like the business owners, even the coaches, what I realize, they are still sitting in the head. And a lot of times when they do not see the results, they keep asking, but how come I'm doing all these strategies, I have my to-do list that I accomplish, how come my results are not there? Again, because their energy is not where it's supposed to be, right? That's why we are talking about the inner world. Because when they are already feeling that they have accomplished everything, even though the outer results are not showing yet, but they are acting from that energy, they are speaking from that energy, they are thinking from that energy, that's exactly where they are matching with their success level, and that's how things are shifting and changing. What would you say on that?
Oh my goodness, 100% true. This is especially important for coaches because, it's interesting. How can we hold the space in the best way possible for others when
Mm-hmm.
there's this difficulty? And this is where I talk about giving from our overflow. A lot of times
Mm-hmm.
we tend to operate with so much effort that is actually limitations on energy. And it's about really shifting that. There's a lot of things to do. It is actually rarely a strategy problem and challenges you're talking about. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually the invisible internal one, because the question is, how do you want to be while you're doing it? You got so many things to do. And for those of you who like have many different roles, like I live the mom, wife, and CEO life. My youngest one is 3. Okay. The oldest one
Mm-hmm.
is 12. So I'm in the beautiful thick of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool is when I learned how to shift this inner world and give from my overflow, I can be able to serve all of them with the overflow as compared to the depletion and exhaustion that I used to run. So it's this part where it's 100% possible.
Mm-hmm.
100% possible to shift this. And for those who are coaches, it is something that is super essential, because when there's a healed heart, a renewed mind, there's this confidence and congruence in who you are and how you serve. You can actually be able to shift and support and guide your clients into actually getting their results much faster, much more effortless by you holding a space for their energy and where they want to go.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love
Mm.
everything what you're sharing. So my question is, a lot of times, I know you're working with coaches. I'm working with the coaches. A lot of times, it just people want to see the results, right? And let's say they are not there. Hey, Lara, thanks for stopping by. It's a great conversation. So let's say they do not see right away the income level. They do not see that they are enrolling the clients. And a lot of times they start doubting themselves. What is the way to actually tap to that money overflow so they continuously continue serving the people that they meant to serve, and actually tapping into that abundance that we all have the access to?
Oh my goodness, this is such a good question because, that's one of the things that I usually would hear. Oh my goodness, Dr. Heather, I should be so much further ahead than where I am. Like this, everything should have been successful by now. I don't understand what's happening. And there's this thing that is called like the law of inertia, right? There's this forward progression. What happens on the inside will slowly work itself on the outside. So this part of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, overwhelm. One of the things that happens too, in addition to this, is really getting clear on how other people's thoughts, energy, and experiences can be affecting yours. Like one of the things that we can take on is even like in our environment or where
Environment. Yeah, that was the word that was already in my mind. Yeah.
there are two things that impact our body and our cells first and foremost. One is energy, right? The energy that we are, that we carry, that we allow to be able to come into the full front, right? The energy that we're around, our environment is also super important as well. And so it is very important, especially as coaches, to surround yourself in expanding your supportive environments. Because this is one of the things I usually hear too, is that maybe your family or your friends or your parents, they're like, I don't understand what the heck you're doing. I remember when I went from working as a professional in the government, and I would tell people, I think I want to be a coach. And people were like, why the heck would you do that? You're already making 6 figures. What does this matter? Like, I don't understand. If I would have listened to them, we wouldn't be here right now. So first thing is to know that the vision was not given to everyone. The vision was given to you. It's a unique, beautiful thing about you. Now, the other part of this too is that your mission and your vision for your business or your entrepreneurship, that vision is an extension of you. Everything is an extension of you. Our relationships, our different roles, but the vision and your business is an extension of you. It is not fully you. So sometimes there can be this intertwine so tight that, oh, because this business is not where I want it to be, that means I suck. Okay, so we got to break free from that, right? The more that we step into the strengthen the relationship with source, ourselves, and then allow that to connect with all the relationships, including the relationship with your business, then things flow. This part about law and inertia is about how things keep moving. So as you're elevating, as you're shifting and changing your beliefs and your emotions and your thoughts and what's going on and raising your vibration and your energy, you also want to allow for that to be able to trickle into manifestation and creating. So it's always sometimes, what is the next divine aligned step that I'm called to take to be able to put this message out, program out there, or whatever the thing that you're called, that you're trying to share the message with. What is the next step? A lot of times we try to go so many far steps, or we want to get to the destination, but the power is in the progress. The power is in the process. We can be, like you had said, the work in progress and the masterpiece at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And I'm looking forward to dive into your steps frames. But first, let's just briefly, stop for the commercial, and we'll be right back.
Let's do it.
All right. And we are back, and we continue our conversation about win your inner world and master your outer world. And we have in the studio amazing Dr. Heather Tucker with us. And let's share with everybody who is tuning in your steps and how you implement them in order to have that really beautiful reflection of inner world that we start seeing that produces in our results, right? Whether this is relationship, money, success, whatever we want.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do that. So, I'm going to share with you 5 strategies that are going to support you with winning your inner world to master your outer world. They're going to spell out the word world. So, you're going to want to write that down on a piece of paper, the word world. And each one of those letters are going to have a meaning. Before I share that, I want to continue what we just talked about. So people will hear me say aloha all the time. It means more than hello, I love you, goodbye. It means truthfulness, light. But the one part of it that I wanted to highlight is patient perseverance on the path. A lot of times we were so focused on the destination and working so hard to the destination that we can actually miss the blessings of the journey as it's unfolding. And a lot of times when we actually get those lessons and learnings on the journey, it actually allows and creates a solid foundation as we are in the destination and walking to the next level. I hope that makes sense.
Yep, that's beautiful.
Perfect. Okay, so the W. And as we're going through this, I want you to bring to mind maybe a business or life challenge that you're going through. Health, relationships, family, losses, gains, anything, any challenge. The first W, it stands for what's the battle? What's the battle? What's the real battle? It can either be internal voices and or external forces. So external forces can sometimes also share with us what's going on inside. Not only understanding the battle, but where did the battle come from? 100% of present challenges actually have some kind of root in something that came before. Now, here's the beautiful thing for those of you who may or may not know. So I specialize in the mental and emotional wellness, the mind and the heart, and allowing that to be able to work on one accord. Both your mind and your heart have a conscious part and an unconscious part. Right. And what's interesting is like the mind and the heart and even the body is this beautiful filing cabinet of everything that we've experienced. Now, this can be good things or maybe not so good things, but it's beautiful because it all makes you who you are. But a lot of times when there's how can I share this example of 100% or 100% of present challenges are rooted in something in the past? For example, have you ever overreacted? Anyone ever overreacted here? It's been a long time since I've overreacted, but it happened, right? Anyone? Yes? Okay. So an overreaction is never really about the present moment. For example, who ate the last donut? It is actually about all of the previous times someone has ate the last of something, whether it's a donut or something, and they all link up, and then you get this overreaction. That awareness to know, because, we can't control it. This is where I talk about emotional intelligence. We can't control what's happening in the external world. We can control how we respond. And that is where our greatest power is in. So having this awareness of, oh my goodness, I'm feeling this way, and start being curious about it. So leaning into, what is this all about? Where did this come from? When have I experienced this before? You can start unraveling the pattern. And it's great when you actually get to the root cause, because when you pluck something up from the root, then it never grows back, right? So that is something that's super powerful, getting clear on what's the real battle. And even those surface level challenges usually have something underneath. For example, one of my clients, she in her testimonial that she gave me, she said, I used to think my biggest challenge was money. But then I realized it wasn't money. I can always make money. It was the self-imposed shackles that I placed on my mind and heart that was getting in the way. Right? Okay, so that's the next one is O. The O stands for own your greatness
I
and
love that.
uniqueness. I love this one too. Own your greatness and your uniqueness. You have more power than you think that you do, or maybe feel that you do, to shift things. I like to talk about becoming the key star player in your game of business and life. When it comes to owning your worthiness of your products and the services that you provide, you want to be able to own it 100%. Your business, your unique ministry is unique. Your calling is unique. It is unlike any other calling. This is one of the reasons why I love the industry of coaching. I remember one client said, well, or Dr. Heather, there's so many coaches out there. How am I going to stand out? And I had to say, the only competition that there is out there is the one that you create. There is no one else with the same knowledge, skills, experiences as you. And when you own your uniqueness and greatness and be solid in that, then you can be able to actually appreciate and honor other people's greatness and uniqueness. It's so important to know and own your soul plan instead of the plan of others. There's a lot of times there's this quote that I had in one of my latest books. Our greatest fear is that we are not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Mhm.
And that's actually true. A lot of times we can fear our own greatness, which creates a little bit of that self-imposed glass ceiling. And we want to be able to break free from that, because it's like turning your mind, your heart, and your body to where maybe it could feel like your worst enemy to totally your best friend. Oh my goodness, 100% possible, right? There's also this quote by Robert Campbell, and he says, the cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. The cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. So start getting clear on, man, what's the cave? What's the treasure? I remember for me, for a lot of people, I guess number two on the fear list is public speaking, right next to death. I used to be like, oh my goodness, I can't stand public speaking, right? And now I'm like, see me, hear me, feel me. Yes, I love it. It's because it was a cave, it was a treasure that was inside of this cave that I feared to enter. And then when I went in and I owned it, I unlocked this beautiful treasure. And there's a power in embracing being seen, heard, and felt, because each of us
Mhm.
is worthy of that.
Beautiful.
Yes. Are you ready for the next ones?
Yeah, R.
Okay, R. R stands for, this is something that's really interesting. Resistance. Resistance is a sign of lack of rapport, connection, or trust in what you're doing. It can sometimes be like when there's confusion. I usually say step into curiosity, and that's going to
Mhm.
lead you into more clarity. Resistance could be on maybe how you did something before. So I want to share, our business is a evolutionary journey. And just like I think about my kids, right? So those of you who have kids, evolutionary journey, they're always different, especially in that first year. They're like changing every single day. But how often is it that we hold on to what was?
Mhm.
And we can sometimes miss where we're called to go because there's so much resistance of letting go of what was and embracing the new. So why I say it's an evolutionary process is because as we're on this journey of entrepreneurship, things shift, they evolve. Our target market gets clear, our services shift and evolve, and we want to be able to go with those changes. Sometimes there can be an internal resistance to living that purpose. I actually experienced this recently. For years, for the first of the like the majority of our company, I was teaching and certifying life coaches and communication experts. Certified over 400 coaches, 50 mind experts. We had our first international classes, and then I get the divine message, okay, we're going to be shifting these trainings and how we do it, and you're going to focus more on coaching. Love coaching, embrace it, but it took literally about 6 to 12 months to fully let go of what was And now
Mhm.
is this beautiful thing about, oh my goodness, now I see there's even more business and life harmony in the new direction. So we want to pay attention to our resistance, to what we're avoiding, and also paying attention to our resistance to even our aloha. Yes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Beautiful. Love that.
All right. The L. The
L.
L stands for love heals all things.
Oh, love that.
Love heals all things. I have a great scripture in my kitchen. Let all that it's in Corinthians, and it says, "Let all that you do be done in love." You know, sometimes we need that reminder, especially
Mhm.
as we are being of service, not only to ourselves but other people. There is a balance that is called forgiving and receiving. It's a beautiful thing, loving energy. For a lot of entrepreneurs, there can be this overgiving and then this resistance to receiving. We want to break free from that because it's just like air, right?
Mhm.
We breathe in, we breathe out.
Mhm.
Okay, if we breathed out only, we wouldn't get that far. If we breathed in only, we wouldn't get that far either. It's about honoring and loving yourself before others and also then equally. So the beautiful thing is we're all unique and we're all different, right?
Mhm.
There's a beauty, but when you know who you are, you know how you serve, you know where you come from, you know where you're going, right? I almost think about like the yellow brick road from The Wizard of Oz. You know where
Mhm.
you're going to, you know the destination. It's a beautiful thing because then you can be around anybody, anytime, anywhere, and show up as just who you are. What you see is what you get, your authenticity.
Mhm.
Your love can heal all things if you allow it to. One of the things that happens that plagues the mind the most and creates a lot of overwhelm is actually heart wounds. Heart wounds get in the way of unconditional love. They can actually create blind spots as well. Have you ever been pissed off at someone and there's so much energy or thoughts or emotions directed to that person
Mhm.
that actually takes your power away and becomes a distraction? So it's
Yep.
so important to be able to be, and the biggest gift that we can do is have forgiveness of self and other people. And also in that forgiveness process is letting go of those pieces of what was so we can be and activate our presence power. That just expands the possibilities for the future.
Mhm.
And the last one I want to share is D. Damage can be undone from the mind, body, heart, and soul. It's interesting because what does that do? You know, a lot of times we think it'll always be like this. Like those, remember I said before, the beliefs create reality. If you have this belief, like, I'm not good enough, who's going to listen to me? Oh my goodness, you're going to see examples of that. You want to shift that
Mhm.
to, oh my goodness, I am so amazing. I'm an amazing king or queen, right? And
Mhm.
I attract the right people. Your message is not for everyone, it's for the right one. But a lot of times we think that there's things that we can't undo from the mind, body, and heart, especially if we've gone through trauma or significant emotional events. But when we undo the damage and we bring our mind, body, heart, and soul into more freedom and more alignment, it creates an intrinsic freedom and a motivation for a lighter way forward. When there's no enemy within, guess what? Nothing externally can touch you. And it's
Mhm.
so beautiful to be in that freeing way because what else does that do? It opens up the space and the possibilities for you to
Mhm.
receive lots of love and lots of money. I think I want to kind of tie this in to there can even sometimes be these polarizations in our mind where it's like this or that. It's love or money. It can be both and.
Yep.
Like that's what I love creating. Lots of love, lots of money, lots of harmony, lots of fun and freedom. Break free from those dichotomies because really the world is our oyster. And when we own that we are the captain of our ship, the master of our fate, everything shifts. As we
Mhm.
shift, everything shifts around us. I do want to share with you this story that people have probably heard before. But there was a woman and she went off to go and try to save the world. And she got frustrated because the world wasn't changing. And then she's like, well, let me just go ahead and change my community. Oh, let me just do that. And she got frustrated because the community wasn't changing. And then she's like, well, let me just change my family. And then she got frustrated because the family wasn't changing. And it wasn't until she was on her deathbed that she realized, man, if I had just changed, everything would have changed around me. And that's exactly the mission of the work that I do. I want people to get their life lessons faster. So therefore they can embrace and have a beautiful high vibe quality. And we don't have a life and business and freedom. We don't have to have a great past to have a great future. We get to recreate and restore ourselves each and every day. And that is true entrepreneurial freedom.
Oh my God, so beautiful. Mic drop.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Heather. And there was a lot of wisdom. So I just captured all the words of the world. So for anybody who wants to go and just look at the comments, they are there. But what a powerful conversation. And again, it just for us a reminder that we are the architects of our own life. We are the co-creators with the universe, right? And whatever we keep entertaining in our head, sooner or later is going to show up in our reality. So the invitation is to really understand everything stems from our energy. So be more mindful of the thoughts that we carry, be more mindful of the words that we are using, the actions, the emotions, because everything is going to show up in our real life. And for anybody, yeah, thank you so much, Lara, for stopping by and listening to that. And for anybody, it's just a reminder, if something does not work at a particular moment, just do not get frustrated. This is part of the process. This is part of the growth. And you know that as long as, how did you say, Heather? Uh, it's the process, it's not the progress, right? That we want.
Oh, yes. The powers in the progress process
Process,
and the
exactly.
progress. You know,
Exactly. Just stay, yeah, stay focused on the process.
correct. And it's
Mhm.
interesting because when there's that focus of not the frustration or the trying to hold on to the outcome and being in the present moment, then you can actually see all the beautiful blessings that are
Mhm.
happening, and all of it's happening for you,
Mm.
not to you. So there's always a message in the mess. There's always a message in the challenge. And
Mhm.
that actually for me, I kind of geek out on that a little bit. Oh, this is
Mhm.
so exciting. What is this teaching me? What is the message? Okay, where do I go from here? And if you were divinely led to it, there will always be support and opportunities that come to be able to support you in carrying out the mission. It's not a
Mhm.
solo mission, right? It's
Absolutely.
all about being able to have the right support and not
Yep.
going
And
alone.
like you mentioned, to stay in the right environment, have a great structure of support, because we never meant to do this work alone. And I love this conversation. So connect with Dr. Heather. I have the links for her. Connect with me and let's just dive in and talk more into how can you make your journey more easy, more in flow, and more less resistant. And that's exactly what we are doing, right? Because again, we do not see our blind spot. It always takes another person to look at our journey and just help us on that journey, especially if that person already has some kind of tools, some kind of instruments, right? Something to give us, to equip us with, and show us the path. Because again, shortcut is the answer. It's not even money, because even money can't buy the time. If we are trying to take that journey alone without the support, not only we are losing in money, but in time as well. But time is something that money can't buy. So that's why coaching is the shortcut to actually achieve the results that you desire. So we invite you to connect, and we invite you to understand that if you have this beautiful desire, that is all yours. Now it's all about just putting the work together and know that every step is going to get you closer to where you want to be. Lara, thank you so much for joining our conversation, for interacting with us. And Dr. Heather, would you like to say something?
I would just like to say, no matter who you think you are, you're so much more than that. It's beautiful because as you delve into all of the amazingness and beauty and value and greatness that you are, then you're able to be, it's like knowing who you are to fully enjoy where you're going. And that's exactly what it's all about. I also on my website have 7 gifts, or free gifts, 7 secrets to more business and life harmony. I invite you to download those and embrace that. It's always about supporting you and going to your next level. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've been, what has happened before, what you are creating in your presence. When you activate your presence power, that is what creates the beauty of the future that you are creating. So thank you
Beautiful.
so much,
Mhm.
Irina, for having me on your
Yes,
show.
and thank you so much for coming and tuning in, and for Lara to be present with us. And everybody, see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.